Hi. In the last video we took a look at the past simple and I introduced the idea of narrative tenses. Now the thing you have to remember about the past simple is it's always correct. So if you're not sure, just tell the story in past simple. It will be very boring and that's why we're going to look at these two tenses, but it will always be correct. So if you said, I went to the pub, I ordered a drink, I drank my drink, I met my friend, it's always fine. Because remember that the past simple is the tent peg. You are saying that things are important by using the past simple. But what we want to do is make our story more interesting to listen to or to read. And for that, we need to add different tenses. So we've got the past continuous and the past perfect. And in this video, we are going to be focusing on the past continuous. So the past continuous is used for longer actions that go around the past simple. So I went to the pub is my tent peg. It's my most important event. But I want to give you some detail that goes around that. So I want to talk about something that started before the past continuous. Sorry, started before the past simple and went past it and continued. So, for example, I might say, it was raining. It started raining here. It finished raining here. Okay, so that will be your past continuous. You can also use it for longer actions that are interrupted by the past simple. So, for example, my friend arrived before me and he was looking at his phone. So he started looking at his phone here, but when I arrived, he stopped looking at his phone. So I can say here, my friend was looking at his phone. So either the past continuous can start before and go up to, or start before and go past. But remember that these are just details. In my story, these things are not really important. They are just helping you to make a picture in your mind of the story that I'm telling you. So let's come on to our table over here. The past continuous is used for long actions around the past simple. Go. And one other thing that it's used for is for what we call setting the scene. Now, setting the scene talks about building a picture in someone's mind before the story starts. So, for example, right now, go with me on this, close your eyes. Are they closed? Are they definitely closed? There's always one student in my class who's like, yes, teacher, they're closed. All right, picture a beach in your mind. Now, the beach that you are picturing is very different to the one that I am picturing. But I want to tell you about a story about when I went to the beach. So I say, okay, one day I went to the beach. The birds were singing, there was music playing in the background, and families were having picnics on the beach. The sun was shining, and now you've got a picture in your mind that is much more similar to the one that I want you to picture. So setting the scene is almost like taking the picture from here and trying to give it to the other person so that they can make that picture to help them understand the story. Okay, our structure is subject plus was or were. I was, you were. Then verb with ing. You can also call this the present participle. I like to keep grammar terms as simple as I can. But this is also known as the present participle. I prefer verb and ing because I think it's easier to understand. Then we've got the negative. wasn't or weren't, and verb and ing. And you can see that I'm definitely going to run out of space here, but I'll give it a try. Okay, your question would be were or was plus subject plus verb and ing. Were you waiting when he arrived? Were you looking at your phone when he met you? Was it raining when you went to the pub? And we've got our question word, who, then was or were, then our subject, and then verb and ing. If you can't see this, guys, don't worry. I'm going to take a screenshot for you. I'm going to take a photo and post it so you can see this in more detail. If you want to make your own notes, of course, that's fine. So in this case, it would be who was, in this case, who was looking at his phone. Where were you sitting when your friend arrived? Okay? And our example is going to be, it was raining. And to put them together, we include when. So it was raining when. Yep. I'm terrible with colours, guys, sorry. Trying to make this easier for you to follow me. It was raining when I went to the pub. There are additional rules about when and while, which I can put in an additional worksheet for you at a later stage. But for now, I want to keep this as simple as possible. And I always prefer to use when because it's more commonly used than the word while. Okay, one more thing before we go. There's a couple of extra rules about the past continuous that are really, really important. Number one, you cannot use length of time with past continuous. Now what I mean by that is we can say I lived in Spain for 9 months. That's fine. But we cannot say something like, it was raining for 20 minutes when I went to the pub. That's a different grammar structure that you're going to learn at the higher intermediate grammar go-getter, which is the past perfect continuous. We're not going to focus on that in this video. But you should not say things like, I was waiting for 20 minutes. That being said, it's important for you to know that what I'm teaching you here is correct grammar. But if you come to the UK, you will notice that we make all sorts of mistakes with grammar. I will teach you the rule, and then you go out there, and within 5 minutes, you hear something and you say, but my teacher said that was wrong. Yes, that's true. English people make this mistake all the time. But for you, it's better to learn the correct grammatical phrases. Later, when you are an advanced student, you can start to understand when you can drop the grammar rules and when you need to keep them in order to be understood but also to be correct. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one is you cannot use state verbs, sorry about my writing here, with past continuous. Okay, so if you're not sure what a state verb is, there's a very simple way of checking. You may be familiar with the game Simon Says. If you're not, it's a kids game that we play here where you are the, let's say, the teacher, and you say, Simon says jump. Simon says clap. Simon says touch your nose. These are all action verbs. You can command someone to do that. Simon says, write your name on the board. Simon says, take off your glasses. I'm not blind right now, by the way. But there are some verbs that you cannot command people to do. So, for example, Simon says, know the answer. You know it or you don't. Simon says, be a woman. You are a woman or you're not. Simon says, have a beard. You have a beard or you don't. These are called state verbs. And you cannot use them with the past continuous. So you cannot say something like, I was knowing the answer. I was being a woman. I was having a beard. It's not possible to say these things. You then need to use the past simple. I knew the answer. I was a woman. I had a beard. You cannot use state verbs with continuous tenses. Past continuous, present continuous. You can't use them in this way. That's it for this video. There's one more right below which is going to focus on the past perfect, and we're going to create a little more for this story using the past perfect. So, check it out.